I mean, 16-year-old boys, you tend to grow quite a bit more after that. Well, Jeff, thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
It's been interesting talking to you. I'm glad that you are finally breaking through the ranks there and getting back into the male drum majors. I think that's neat.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jeff. My next guest is Corey Stevens, and Corey is the president of National Honor Society. And our National Honor Society here is quite a large group because we have a lot of really smart students at Norman High School. Corey, about how many people are in Honor Society?
Oh, let's see, we initiated 104 this year, probably about 195, 190.
And what are the requirements for Honor Society, National Honor Society? I know it's different for Oklahoma.
Yeah,
so.
you have to have a 3.6 cumulative grade point average. You have to, I had to give a speech on this too, I kind of muffed the speech, but you have to have a 3.6 grade point average. You have to participate in one extracurricular activity, and you have to give 12 service hours, volunteer service hours.
For instance, what?
Like going to a nursing home and helping out at like a bingo game, or helping them down at the Red Cross, or like coaching a little league team or soccer or something like that.
So that takes up some time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What about the extracurricular activities? So besides National Honor Society, they want you in something else besides National Honor Society.
Yeah, and to get in, to be nominated, you have to get a character reference from one of your teachers.
Say you're a good character?
Yeah. I don't know how I got mine.
Okay, you ran for president. How many people were running against you? Were just 2 people in each office?
Well, there was like 8 people running for treasurer, and there were about 6 for parliamentarian or
What did they have you do for your office?
To run for your office? You just nominated yourself and then gave speeches at like 2 or 3 different meetings. I guess it's 2 meetings.
What did you say in your speech? How did you convince people to vote for you? I'm always curious about this. It's hard to get up and talk about yourself, you know.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Oh, okay.
No, I don't know. I just told them what I wanted to do, and I acted like I had some type of experience, and I told them about the state convention last year and things like that. Yeah.
What do you want to do for Honor Society? You know, sometimes Honor Society is well, they're probably active because they do have to get the 12 service hours, but
they're not active as a group.
You're right.
Yeah. That's one of the things we want to do this year, is make people aware that the National Honor Society actually is
a group
functioning. That they are functioning still. I don't know exactly what we're going to do. I think we're going to have more group service projects this year than we did last year. Last year we just had one scavenger hunt.
Those are fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but I mean, no one really knew about it. I mean, a few people knew about it, but I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do. We've got some meetings coming up.
And I get these magazines about once a month or every 2 months, I'm not sure. Leadership magazines.
Yeah, leadership magazines.
And in there's always a National Honor Society page, and it tells what honor societies are doing in other schools, so it's a good way for you to find out.
I guess that's what article I'll do next.
That's right.
Next week in leadership.
What other activities are you involved in? Are you in speech and debate, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Which part of that, speech or debate?
Well, I'm in debate, and I also do foreign extemporaneous speaking, but I'm mostly a debater.
Pardon me, foreign?
Foreign extemporaneous speaking.
Why do they call it foreign?
Well, this is the way it works.
Okay.
You go and you draw like 5 questions, and it's over foreign problems or policies and things like that.
I see. I understand the
And
foreign.
you don't have to speak like in Spanish or anything like that.
That's good.
And then you have 30 minutes to write and prepare for a 4 to 7 minute speech, and then you go in there and you give your speech, and they judge how well you do. And my partner and I went to this last tournament in debate, and we didn't do very well.
What topic did you have?
It's retirement security for the old, whether or not we should create a policy for retirement security.
So sometimes it maybe puts people to sleep, what you're talking about.
Most definitely, yeah.
So on the debate, you're not a debater.
Oh, I am a debater.
Okay, which debate do you do?
What
do you do Lincoln Douglas
or
the
cross-examination.
So you do
the only kind of debate. For all you Lincoln Douglas people, cross-ex is the only kind of debate.
Yeah, last week or 2 weeks ago, I had Eric Flexner, and he does Lincoln Douglas, and he likes that much better than the other kind. Well, the reason why I say that is because I stumbled into a debate class one day and they were talking just as fast as they could possibly talk.
That's cross-X.
How do you see? That amazes me that one person, I don't remember who it was talking. It was some young man, but he was talking so fast you could understand anything he was saying.
Oh, but the people that are judging can understand because they've done the same thing.
Well, so are you given a topic at the beginning of the year, and this is what the topic is throughout every debate you go to?
That's how it is in cross-X, but Lincoln Douglas changes like every month or 2 months. Something weird like that. It doesn't make sense. It's Lincoln Douglas.
So can you practice and become faster? I mean, the more you practice, the quicker speaking voice you have.
Yeah, that guy on the Federal Express commercial could be great. Yeah, I mean, he could.
Maybe he was in high school.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
So what do you have to go about then collecting all this evidence or all these statistics, and then you write it all down, and then you have it in front of you, and you just say it as fast as you can?
Well, I mean, that's the way it appears to the.
That's the way it. Yeah, that's right.
To the ordinary person, but really, I mean, you have to give analysis on what you're reading, and you have to explain it and everything. I mean, it's more than just reading the evidence.
So, actually, that's only for judges. You're not trying to convince anybody of anything. It's just how much information you give them and whether you tie it all together. Or
I mean, you have to be, to some extent, you have to be persuasive. But
why did you get into that rather than the other kind of debate, Lincoln Douglas?
Well, it was more the topic. I mean, Lincoln Douglas is like, do you think it's the value of life or the quality or the quantity of life? I mean, it's real philosophical type of questions and
so it's opinion type stuff, and you've got to find stuff to back up your opinion. And
policy making is what it's like.
So that's why you got into the other kind. Yeah. Okay. So those are what?
I was going to say we've kind of wandered off the.
Yeah, the National Honor Society, but back to Honor Society. You know, the Oklahoma Honor Society is that a part of National Honor Society, or is it a separate group?
It's a separate thing. I'm not sure. I'm not in it. I think it's like the top 10 or 5% of the class is asked if they want to be. I don't know what the requirements are or anything.
So just because you're in Honor Society doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be in Oklahoma Honor Society. It's a little stiffer criteria, isn't it, for Oklahoma? Do you know what it is exactly?
I think it's the top 10% of the class.
But the grade point average is pretty close to 4 point, like 3.7 or 8 or something like that.
3.9.
Do you know how many people we have in Oklahoma Honor Society, or do you have a clue?
Haven't a clue.
I don't even know. I think they just kind of hand those out as a when they're initiated into National Honor Society. I think they just kind of stick that in as a little sideline. Here, you're getting Oklahoma Honor Society too. But they are two separate things, and I guess they have I don't know that Oklahoma Honor Society has any qualifications.
Yeah, I don't think they do anything. I think it's just like at the award ceremony.
It's not honorary.
They just, here you go, you're Oklahoma Honor Society.
Yeah. Well, Corey, thanks for coming on. Learned a lot about Honor Society and about those debates. See, that just amazes me. Debaters. That type of debating really, really amazes me because I can't talk fast. I get my tongue all hung up, and I guess after you practice, that wouldn't happen anymore.
Well, it still does. You try to go too fast, and
your mouth starts speaking faster than your brain. Well, thanks.
My partner does that a lot.
Oh, is that right? Who's your partner?
Matt Rollinson.
Oh, Matt's the one I saw. That's right. Okay. Well, thanks, Corey, for being on. And our next guest is Brett Robinson, and Brett is the host of a lot of the district shows. I'm not sure what is your title, Brett?
My official title, I think, is host. I'm a speaker for the Norman Public Schools, or spokesperson for the Norman Public Schools.
There we go. I knew there was a word we were looking for.
Yeah.
How and why did you try out? I know you had to come in and audition, not try out really, but audition for that position. Why did you decide to do that? Or are you a sophomore? You're a junior right now. Right?
I was notified about it by through my acting class last year.
West or Central?
At West. And I sounded interesting, and I came up and just tried out for it, and it's proved to be sort of fun.
What did they have you do in the audition?
First of all, we had to, do a cold script, read a cold script, come up with questions about certain things.
On the spot?
Yeah, on the spot. And then we also read a prepared script, and I think that was really about it. It took about 10 minutes.
How many people I know they picked a guy and a girl. How many guys were there that
As I remember it, there were about
auditioned?
5 or 6 guys and maybe about 5 or 6 girls. I don't know. There were different days for auditions and also a wide variety of times, so there may have been more than that. But when I came, that was about how many there were.
Now, how busy have you been in this job? Because I know.
Not really busy.
Really?
The thing that sort of enticed me about it was the fact that it said, be talent. And instead of having to do a lot of other things besides, basically we come and our clothes are here and we get dressed and we go on and we
Read the script.
read the script.
So somebody's already prepared it. You don't have to go out and hit the streets and,
No,
and get the stories.
no, it's most of the script's already written and we just sort of read.
What a great job.
Yeah,
What
really,
an easy deal.
sort of fun. If we got paid, that'd be even better.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Kramer's probably considering it even as we speak.
Yeah.
You know, money, yeah. I mean, Gary, money for these guys. When do you usually tape your shows or your little pieces that you have on?
We tape every Thursday during 6th hour. And it usually takes, the first time we did it, it took over about an hour and a half, and then, but we've gotten better, and so takes about the whole hour.
Do you get a chance to read over the prepared script first, or do you have to go in and pretty much do it cold?
We read over it once, usually, and then after that we go on live and we try to go through the whole script without messing up, and if we do, we just go back to another one.
Is that possible?
Yeah.
Go through it?
Sometimes. We haven't done it yet, but we've heard that it's been done before.
That's a goal that you
Yeah.
have, right? To
Yeah.
go through it. Now, when you were in acting classes at West, did you want to go into acting or drama, or did you want to get involved in that kind of as a sideline, or was media really something you were kind of intrigued by and interested in?
I really took the acting classes and the speech classes at West because that was really all they offered in that general field of fine arts, and I'm really not interested in stage acting. I'm really rather interested in television and film, and I enjoy both parts of the production and also just being on the air.
So are you in 6-hour media productions? So you're having to actually get involved with some of the camera stuff and doing shows and things like that.
Yeah.
Now, are you in the class that does Tiger Den?
Well, right now we're in the, I think we do Tiger Den and homeroom second 9 weeks. I'm not really sure, but right now we're just learning about the cameras and editing and audio equipment and stuff like that.
And do you think you're ready to do this for 2 whole years? I know Mr. Kramer is really excited. He has a couple of juniors here. I mean, is this something you'd like to do for 2 years?
I think so. I'll be interested to find out what the rest of the year comes about. And
Are you taping your shows at home? I mean, to keep. It'd be interesting to tape one of your first ones. You know, your little announcement things.
Well, I know that Gary keeps tapes of it, but really, I'm not ever home when I come on the air.
Which is what time?
We come on at 8 and 4, 5 days a week.
Oh, yeah.
And really, I'm not home at 8 or 4, or if I am, I'm leaving for school.
Or getting in.
Yeah.
So that's looking at a long term here. It would be interesting to see, the change in you and your style from now until
I'm hoping
your
to
senior year.
I'm hoping to get better. The first show it was worse, and I'm hoping to maybe worse and
sure.
Better.
You get more comfortable, I guess, in front of the camera. Do you find it easy to work with someone else, or would it be easier to kind of be by yourself out
it's
there?
much easier to work with someone else because when you're working with someone else, if you mess up, it's sort of like, okay, we're both doing the same thing, so it's not so you're not on the spot as much, and both of you can take sort of the pressure.
I wonder if this is like a TV anchor person. I wonder if they get handed a script. I've often wondered that if they have to do any investigative reporting themselves, or if they're just kind of handed a script when they walk in.
Well, I think for the most part they do the same thing pretty much as we do.
Yeah. It's kind of broadcast news kind of brought that out in a movie. You just hand a pretty face script and do it. But it's hard to do. You do have to have some talent in speaking and do you think the acting and the drama background, maybe taking the classes over there, made you a little bit more comfortable with that?
Yeah, it made me a lot more comfortable with really being on the spot, you know, being in front of a lot of people. And that's something that's a lot more difficult, I think, with television, is that if you go from being on stage to being in front of the camera, it's hard to look to a piece of metal
and be
and look
comfortable.
into something that doesn't respond back.
Yeah, it's not smiling at you. It's not frowning. It's just sitting there. Yeah, I think that's right. And people out there that haven't been in front of a camera before, it's an interesting spot to be in, you know, because
Yeah, when they tell you to look
some-
at the camera, it's like, well, I'd rather sort of look at my guest or
Yeah.
or something else.
Yeah. Well, Brett, thanks for coming on, and that's
Sure.
interesting that this is a whole new deal we're getting into with two people that are kind of spokespersons for the district, and it's neat that two kids are doing it rather than adults. I think that's a good deal. And thanks for watching Tiger Talk this week, and we'll see you next week back here.